Hello, Saturday morning, Paul Case here. It's August 19th. Wanted to document the amount of wood I've got here. There's one pile of walnut over there, but the one closest to the other building and the one on the other side of it that's tall there are bigger logs that'll have to be cut with a chainsaw and busted with probably with skid steer splitter. And then there's three piles this side of the door, three piles this side of the door, all firewood. I'm getting some built up. Start a job Monday that's too far away for me to haul the firewood, which is a shame because they're wanting to clean up everything that's there. But we did get the everything completed the last job and brought in, and we done a little work on the skid loader. It needed a few welds on the forks, and it had a tire that was shredded, and I had bought a couple of used foam filled tires, what it's got on it, with wheel in them quite a while back, but they were a hair smaller around, and so we needed to put them both on one side. I'll show you what that tire looked like. We had one that blowed up on us before, and that one, see, nope, it's this one. This one's the one. We had this tire put on new, I think in March, and then had it foam filled. The tire was $150 and it was $280 to foam fill it, and it lasted till August. Ripped up like that. Cheap tire, I suppose. So if you're gonna go through the expense of having one foam filled, don't bother getting cheap tires. Well, that's how the wood deal's going. Supposed to start a new job Monday, and it's only like 10, 11, 12 miles from here, but it's the straight line way to get here from there is right through Seneca, Missouri, and we'll have to haul logs that way. I don't know, I may get somebody to haul some semi-loads of logs from there to Scott, but there should be some stuff there that'll go to another sawmill. They pay a little more money. Got my parts back, y'all. Pressure plate. I've always done this local before, and there was people in Joplin that built clutches and stuff, and now all the ones in Joplin's went out of business. There wasn't never one in Miami, and so what we've got here is a two-stage clutch, and it has two different throwout bearings. One pushes on these three fingers, and the other one's bigger around and pushes on these three. The guy I found was at Walt's Tractor at Fairview that helped me out with this. He deals in Dukes tractors, and he said the pressure plate I had looked just like a Dukes, and he could find me one that would fit. Well, everything I'd looked up on the internet was $900 for that pressure plate. Of course, it comes with one clutch disc in it, and then the other clutch disc, I believe, is the PTO disc. And he said that my PTO disc was fine, and we knew that the flywheel was fine. It's not even got any burn marks on it, so all of that was okay. Just my fingers on the pressure plate wore off from the bearings throwout bearings being locked up, and burned them fingers off. So he found me this one. I dropped that off on Monday afternoon, and they called me on Thursday. I went and picked it up on Thursday afternoon. He had it all for me, and for it to be right is a thing for me. I don't do well with mail order, and if I have to send it back in, then you're waiting a long time. I told him if he could get me one and get it right, I'd be happy. And he did, and he's got the bearings, three bearings, pilot bushing, pilot bearing, and two throwout bearings in that box right there. And that is $1,000 worth of parts right there. right at it. And so I've had some other little issues that I don't know nothing about. It's the first time I've ever done a 2-stage clutch. And so I'm trying to figure out what holds this. This is the carrier for the one of the throwout bearings. This is the other. And I'm trying to find out what holds that in place. What keeps it from just spinning. And the only thing I can find is these little springs. There's only 2 of them in there. One of them's bent. And so Walt couldn't exactly help me out with that. Or he didn't. He maybe knew something he didn't tell me. I don't know. But I found those 2 pieces in there, and I thought, well, I'll just run up here to my local parts outfit at one of their locations anyway. They're Agco, which Agco owns Hesston. So I went up there, and I'm friendly with the guy. I knew a lot of his family that's at the parts counter. And he says, I've got a way to look them up. So I sat there, his deal for 20, 30 minutes with him looking for it. And he calls 2 other guys, and the second guy he calls says, is it a Fiat? And he says, yes, it's a Fiat. He said, well, Hesston Fiats are not on the computer. You have to go back to the old microfiche to get them. And the only way you can do that is to go to Lockwood, Missouri, which is pretty close to an hour from here. But it's another one of their locations, and get the parts guy there to go back and look it up on microfiche. And I'm like, okay. So he gives me, turns out the guy that used to be parts manager at the Joplin locations, now parts manager at the Lockwood location. I knew him, so he gave me a number I could get a hold of that guy at. And I thought, well, I'll just call him Saturday or Monday. And I came home and got to tooling around on the computer, and I just searched Hesston 680, which is what this is, throwout bearing retainer springs. And I came up with some and parts that look just like those, and a whole bunch of New Holland numbers that take those same retainer springs. I bet he had the parts on the shelf up there that I need. Just don't know a part number for it, but now I know some model numbers that we can look at that surely are in his computer. So, and the outfit where those came up at on the computer, I went ahead and I'm like, well, I just want 4 new ones of those. So I ordered them, paid for them and everything, which is a little bit of a hassle. After I paid for them, then it goes to giving me all this details about shipping and when I can expect them to show up at my place. Never really gave me a date, but it said that they were coming from Canada, which I didn't realize, and that they would ship across the border sometime within 7 working days of when I ordered them, because they actually have a courier that takes them to the U.S.-Canadian border and puts them in the U.S. Postal Service mail, and they only do that once a week. And they're able to not have to pay customs on those little bitty pieces that are under $800 in value by doing it that way. And I'm like, I might get those and I might not. I don't know. I'll probably get them after I'd already want to have this thing all put together. But this is a rainy day project, so we're only going to work on it when it keeps us out of the woods. And I almost got all the parts except for a couple little spring clips, but I think when I get time again, I can go up here to Joplin and find them. So that's just a little update on how things are going there. Parts gathering is kind of one of those things that takes some time. Been out and checked my cows. I'm going to look at a truck today. I don't know if I get any video of it. Another old International. It's got a bed and hoist on it, and it's not very far from home. So I'm going to look at that. And it could be that I buy it and make a log truck out of it so I can haul stuff home and just dump it off. Kind of thought I'd like to have a truck that was a little more dual purpose, and this one's a longer wheelbase than Bobby Cole. Bobby Cole's kind of short. you can't haul logs any longer than 10 foot on it. And if you haul 10 footers, you gotta put all the butts to the front, or else the thing gets so light on the front end you can't hold it in the road. So yeah, but the truck I'm going to look at's like a 80, I can't remember, early 80s, 81 or 83, S18 or 1900, and it has a 14 or 16 foot bed with a hoist under it. It's a 466 and a 5-speed with a 2-speed rear end. That's what we're looking at. Well, hey, thanks for watching my videos and listening to me ramble a while. Have a great Saturday, y'all. We'll catch you on the next one.